Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is some pretty damn big news. It seems that Marvel and Sony have finally reached a conclusion in their negotiations over the character Spider-Man, and the conclusion is that Sony is going to let Marvel use the character in their cinematic franchise. That is right, Spider-Man is now officially part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. My initial reaction to seeing this news had me all like Janice from Friends. Oh my God. Basically, Sony is still keeping the rights to the character. They didn't give him to Marvel. I don't even think it's a 60-40% thing. In fact, Sony is going to continue to distribute, finance, and have final creative control over Spidey even while Marvel's using him. But that being said, if Sony is smart, they will realize that Marvel knows a bit more about the web ahead than they do. So Spidey is now in the MCU. Does that mean he's going to be in Captain America Civil War? The companies have stated that he will appear in the MCU before the summer of 2017, so probably. I highly doubt that he would show up in Doctor Strange or Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It'll be Civil War. And given how far into production the Civil War movie is, principal photography begins in April of this year in just a couple of months. I would not be too sure if the crew would have enough time to rewrite Spidey into the script. That being said, if they could pull that off, awesome! But like I said in my previous video discussing this, they have Black Panther in this movie, probably to fill in the role that Spider-Man would have. Either way, I'm pretty sure that Captain America Civil War is going to be an awesome movie with or without Spider-Man. But I think most comic book fans out there want to see Spider-Man in this movie because he's a big part of the Civil War storyline in the comics. Since I don't read the comics, I'm fine either way. So obviously, this MCU Spider-Man is not going to be the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. It's going to be a brand new Spider-Man. It's going to be a new actor and a new story for the web slinger. If Marvel is smart, which they are, then they know that we do not need to see Spider-Man's origin story again. Most of us have seen Peter Parker become the web slinger twice now. What Marvel should do is they should do something similar to what they did in The Incredible Hulk. They should give us a very quick recap of his origin, but make it like 5 minutes long max, and then get going with his story. I think that's the only way that we would be okay with seeing the origin again. That's the only way I would be okay with it. Now, do I like the fact that Spider-Man is now part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Sure. In my previous video talking about this subject, I said that I think Spider-Man would be better off in his own franchise because I think he has enough stuff to deal with by himself. Plus, I wanted to see him eventually fight the Sinister Six, but my opinion has slightly changed since then. While I still would love to see Spider-Man fighting against the Sinister Six, I would also love to see what Marvel Studios is going to do with the webhead, just as long as he fits within the universe. It's kind of like my argument with Ant-Man, you know? I am totally down for Marvel making a movie about this character, but I need to see how he is going to connect and tie in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Another part of this big news is that Amy Pascal of Sony and Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, are now going to be working together to bring us our next solo Spider-Man movie. Which begs the question, is this film going to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Or is it going to be part of Sony's Amazing Spider-Man film series? Or is it going to be yet another complete reboot of the franchise? Whatever the hell it is, we have the release date for it, and it's July 28th, 2017. Whoa, wait a minute. Isn't that the release date for Thor Ragnarok? So now, a few of Marvel's Phase 3 release dates have been changed. Thor Ragnarok has now been pushed to November 3rd of 2017, and the next Marvel film after that will be Avengers Infinity War Part 1, the release date of which has not changed, May 4th, 2018. Then Black Panther will come out on July 6th of 2018. Captain Marvel's coming out November 2nd, 2018. Then Avengers Infinity War Part 2 is coming out on its unchanged release date of May 3rd, 2019. And finally, Inhumans is coming out on July 12th of 2019. I find it kind of weird now that the last film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is now the Inhumans movie. I think it would make a lot more sense if the last film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe were Avengers Infinity War Part 2. I guess we'll see how things work out in 4.5 years' time. As for Sony's Amazing Spider-Man film series, I don't know where the future of that is headed. I guess the Sinister Six film has been delayed. The release date was going to be November 11th of 2016. One of the last things I remember reading is that they were going to go ahead with 2 more Amazing Spider-Man movies. The third one was going to come out sometime in 2018, and the fourth one was going to come out sometime after that. The exact release dates were not revealed. But now I guess it's kind of up in the air. However, we do know one thing for sure, and that is that Andrew Garfield has hung up his Spider-Man mask and he is done playing the role of Peter Parker. That sucks for him. I loved him as Spider-Man. And as for the new 2017 Spider-Man film, the big question is, what the hell is this movie going to be for our web slinger? Marvel Cinematic Universe, Sony's Amazing Spider-Man series, or something completely new? Other questions we may have include, who will be cast as Peter Parker? Or will it be that Miles Morales guy? That could be possible, although I kinda doubt it. Who's going to be the love interest in this film? More importantly, who's going to be the villain? I guess it all depends on what universe it is. If it's not the Amazing Spider-Man and it's something new, can we please not have the Green Goblin again? If the villain were up to me, I would either pick Venom and Carnage together, or Mysterio because those are my personal favorite Spider-Man villains. Or how about Black Cat? That would be awesome. We will all have to wait patiently for the details as these dates get ever closer. So, I know that this is a lot of news to take in, but here is my question for you. What do you think this new Spider-Man Spider-Man film is going to be. Either what do you think it's going to be, or what do you want it to be, or both. I want to know what you think. Maybe you know something I don't, so go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.